Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Happy, what is today? Is today hump day? Happy hump day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Does Nation Live, where we bring you everything you need to know that mainstream media will not cover objectively, truthfully. I do my own due diligence, qualitative and quantitative research. It is so awesome to see you guys. Come on in, come on in. Drum roll, yes. Don't forget, we have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to tell you everything that we're going to talk about. Please tap that thumbs up. Share this out with everybody that you know. Super chats, new members, stick around to the end. I am going to give you massive shout outs. Plus, we're going to do a hangout with members only at the end. Live Q&A. So hangout now is a chance to become a member if you haven't already. But here's what we're going to talk about today. So we got a lot of topics. This is going to be probably an hour and a half show. Hang out, we have fun. I'm going to talk to you about what's coming up. I'm going to talk to you about what the biggest stories that are happening today. If you missed them, I also just posted a video related to the Young Thug YSL RICO trial. Holy macadamia nut, which takes place in the district of our girl. You love her, I love her. Well, actually, I don't love her. I'm more kind of, actually appalled by her. But there's a saying, I can't remember exactly who said, an ancient traditional, I think, Eastern philosophical saying. It might have been Mayoto Masashi who said, when your enemy is making mistakes, don't interrupt them. And it is time and time and time again that Cash Money G, Fannie Willis, keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake. Come on in, everybody. It's so good to see you. I see all some familiar faces. How good to see you, Captain Mike. Yeah, as a matter of fact, great question. All replay viewers and live viewers, let me know what city, what state, what country you're joining us from, because I love hearing from you guys. Okay, let's get into this. So the first thing we're going to be talking about, we have Silver, who predicts there's a new kind of it's sort of like a sort of Nate Silver's, analytical. He's a statistician, mathematician, kind of well-renowned. He predicts, he has a very stark and quite shocking, I would say, election prediction. We're going to talk about that and what the implications of that are. Controversy erupts over Judge Hidalgo's Trump blame in the Nungare case, that poor young girl who was, assaulted, essayed. I can't say the actual word, but S-A, spell it out, by two illegal migrants who came across the border multiple times. We're going to talk about that. She made an amazingly shocking statement today. We're also going to talk about the Biden administration and SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States. A lot of people are pissed off about this, including me. Social media censorship case. A lot of people think Amy Coney Barrett kind of betrayed her oath of office in this really, really monumental case. We're going to talk about that. Trump's VP pick. A crucial decision is in the spotlight. Holy macadamia nut. There's reports that he is going to make his choice. He's going to make his pick right before the debates. And by the way, we're going to talk about the debates too. The debates are happening tomorrow. Am I going to be streaming this on YouTube? There is probably a 90% chance that I won't. So stick around, because I need to tell you where I might be streaming this. There's a whole lot of hoopla, a whole lot of drama. CNN wants to infringe upon our free speech, infringe upon our rights as independent media organizations who engage in fair use. And there's a lot of stuff we need to talk about that. But Trump's VP pick, we're going to talk about that. Also, Trump's roundtable, Black leaders discuss impact. We got Byron Donalds and Ben Carson in Atlanta at a barbershop in a roundtable discussion. Latimer defeats the Squad, communist Marxist DEI Bowman, in a historic New York primary. Holy man, what's this imply? What are the ramifications of this? Is this something that means, is this foreshadowing in some sense of what could come? We're also going to talk about the House invalidates the January 6th committee, and then Representative Luna going after Attorney General Merrick Garland. So those are the things we're going to be talking about today. And who knows, there might be some breaking news that happens right away. Good to see you, Howie. Howie says censorship, CNN. Yes, Sean Lucifer. As a matter of fact, let me know in the comments down below, who do you think? I did a poll. As a matter of fact, I might share that. I did a poll on, let's talk about that right now. Let's talk about the VP pick. Okay, let's talk about Trump's VP pick, because I think this is really important and we want to talk about this. So the sort of what kind of happened is that we got a lot of information. There's a lot of drama going around about, and info saying that whoever speculation, let's say, whoever ends up at the actual debate tomorrow in Atlanta is going to be Trump's VP pick. And so this is really, really interesting. And so we have three confirmed people who are going to be attending the actual debate tomorrow. Vivek Ramaswamy, Dr. Ben Carson, and Burgum. Douglas Burgum, who is the governor of, where's he the governor of again? I keep forgetting. He's not really somebody that I have actually put a lot of, it's funny because Doug Burgum, it's funny because there's a lot of people who think J.D. Vance should be the vice president pick. Maybe a lot of people are saying even Carrie Lake, Tulsi Gabbard, but there's three people. There's a lot of hoopla around Vivek. I would love to hear what your thoughts are down below. Here's my kind of take on this. My kind of take on this is it has to be somebody who I think is going to be a huge advocate, mouthpiece, megahorn to counteract and support Trump's policies and programs. Because Trump is going to say what he wants to say. There's no stopping Trump. Trump is going to say whatever he wants to say, but there needs to be somebody who, I just want to be real. The whole idea of like, we need to pick somebody who's smart and intelligent and who's going to fulfill. No, there's no, it does. The VP, the vice president of the United States, is the most inconsequential role in political history. There's really no consequence. It doesn't matter. I think, I'm just being realistic here. I know I'm going to get probably a lot of hate in the comments. I think realistically, you just have to pick somebody who, and Trump said this before in interviews, is going to help you get elected, and B, God forbid, knock on wood, something happens, they actually will take the reins. Obviously, Mike Pence was not the guy. Mike Pence makes rigor mortis Biden look like a Cirque du Soleil gymnast. Talk about stiff. Hello, in all the wrong places, too. Hello. We're having fun. But the deal is, I think you got to get somebody who's going to get you elected and somebody who's going to be a megahorn of policy. Talk about gas prices, inflation, food prices, the war in Ukraine. Talk about just Trump's going to do his thing. Trump's going to entertain. He's likable. He's going to have fun. He's going to crack jokes. He, may even say some shock. He's really about shock value too. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't say things that are substantive. Of course he does. But he's really all about, I think, the relatability of him to us, true blue, hardworking, tax-paying Americans, citizens who abide by the law, who pay their taxes, who do the right thing, and just want a return to practicality, a return to just things that made sense in our country before. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it was Byron Donalds or if it was Ben Carson. I think it's going to be Ben Carson. I still don't think, I would be shocked if it's Vivek, even though I think probably Vivek is probably one of the most intelligent sounding, articulate, and he really goes to bat. The ferocity of Vivek, I think, is bar none. I don't think anybody compares. But I think who's going to help him get elected is Dr. Ben Carson. I think Doug, I think Burgum is a distant third. I don't think he's even close, even though he's probably going to a stalwart of a choice. He's probably a great choice, and he's probably somebody who would actually do a good job. I think it has to be Dr. Ben Carson. I think having the first African-American male vice president says a lot. Potentially having the first African-American president. You see what I did there? Okay. But anyway, I truly believe it has to be somebody. And by the way, Vivek is very young. Vivek is very young. He's only 37, 38. He's got plenty of time. I think he's going to go with Ben Carson. There's a lot of speculation that there's a bunch of people, including Democrats, who are pushing for him to pick, of all people, Nikki Haley. What? There's a lot of reports. There's a ton of reports who are saying that Nikki Haley should be his choice, which I just think is absolutely insane. Wait a minute. This is not verified. Okay, I just sat here in shock. Okay, so the U.S. Civil Defense News said former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has been selected as Trump's VP pick. The official release date for the announcement will be at the Republican convention. This is not verified. I would be shocked. This can't be verified. I'll double check this, but I don't think that's verified. But there is a breaking announcement that it could come as early as this week. So again, those are my parameters. I think Vivek's got time, but I don't think it's going to be him. I'm just being realistic here. I really don't think it's going to be him. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Replay viewers, live viewers, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, now I want to talk about this. So I want to talk about this because this is kind of the title of the sort of stream and the thumbnail. So I want to deliver on that promise. So Nate Silver has an election forecast for the 2024 presidential race. And this was a trending topic on X/Twitter. And he predicts there's going to be an edge to one of the candidates over the other. And he has a model where he has a statistical percentage of who's going to win the election. Now, before I share this, I want everybody in the comments right now, to comment anti-jinx. What is the anti-jinx term, by the way? Is there an anti-jinx term? What's the anti-jinx term? I need to Google that real fast. Or what is the anti-jinx term? Is there one? What's the opposite of a jinx? Is there a word that we can use? Counter jinx. Okay, everybody type in counter jinx. Everybody type in counter jinx in the comments before I share this. Anti jinx. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I really don't. Yeah. So everybody type in anti jinx or counter jinx. Thank you, Jim. Good to see you. Jim's in the house. Welcome, everybody. Sean, good to see you. Counter jinx. Yes. Everybody type in counter jinx because what I'm about to share with you, I think is going to blow your mind. Now, before I share this, I have to share this because you guys know as well as I do that can we really, and by the way, let me know, do you really trust polls? Do you trust, any kind of stat or any kind of chart or any kind of, anything that comes out of, these places? I would love for you to let me know. So remember this right here. Okay, I want everybody to tell me if they actually remember. This was back in 2016. Okay, so this was back in 2016, and this was an estimated poll that gave crooked Hillary a 71% chance right up till the election of beating Donald Trump. This is back in 2016, almost 10 years ago. Okay, 8 years ago. Yes, keep typing counter jinx in the comments. Well, today we have a prediction, okay? So that was 2016. Okay. So today, what we have is Nate Silver has predicted, who is a well-renowned statistician and mathematician. He has actually predicted that Trump is favored to win by a very, very large margin. He slates that Trump is going to win by a very, very large margin. Okay. So he's giving, this is the first 2024 election forecast. He predicts a 65.7%. This is huge, you guys. A 65.7% chance of Donald Trump winning the presidential election against Joe Biden, with Trump also having a 49% chance of winning the popular vote. This forecast suggests that Trump could secure an average of 287 electoral votes, while Biden might get 250. Now, there's a lot of people, okay? There's a lot of people think, I love it. Yvonne says that is a correct chart. Counter jinx. Yes, everybody type in counter jinx right now. We don't want to jinx this. I was very reticent. I was very, I was very reticent to share this information, but I knew that if we did a counter jinx, we wouldn't jinx it. And I wanted to share that Hillary poll back in 2016 just to kind of say, look, let's not take this too seriously. This does not mean we can take our foot off the gas. Hey, Patty, good to see you. Patty over on Rumble. Good to see you, Patty. Yes, we need to get out and vote. This just tells us that we're on the right path. All this tells us is that we're on the right path, okay? We are seeing a lot more independent voters. We are seeing a lot more African American, the black vote. I hate calling them African Americans. They're not from Africa, and it almost denotes that you're half American. You're American, for crying out loud. And so the Hispanic vote, the black vote, tombstone rigor mortis, Biden has lost double-digit percentage points in those key demographic voting factions. And so, yes, everybody type in counter jinx right now. I need you to type in counter jinx. Oh, I love that. Mike, you just nailed it. Counter jinx, Biden stinks. I love that, Mike. That's absolutely perfect. That is fantastic. So, is the convicted felon going to win in November? How many people, if you think so, give me a yeah in the comments. We need a huge applause for that. Do you think the convicted felon is going to win in November? What I think. You know what I think, but I don't want to jinx it. Yes, we don't want to jinx it. So counter jinx, Biden stinks. The Buff IT guy, good to see you. Seashell, it's great to see you. Yeah, that's right. That is right. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to say the least, because remember, I go back to what Fareed Zakaria said. And Fareed Zakaria is probably one of the only, I think he's probably the only journalist or pundit from CNN, Communist News Network. We're going to talk about that next. Good to see you, Joseph. Joseph's in the house. Villains in the house. Good to see you. Dash Hound Lover. Good to see you. I think we're going to see, I think Fareed Zakaria said it best when he said, these polls and these charts and these graphs and these whatever that keep coming out, they never, ever overestimate Trump's numbers. If anything, 95% of the time, they underestimate Trump's numbers, because most people are shy, especially independent voters and secret Democrat voters are shy about expressing publicly that they're voting for Trump. Because everybody's getting canceled, right? I mean, I think people are starting to wake up. I think it's not as bad as it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I think people are starting to finally wake up to this woke charade, this woke pandemic. That's the real pandemic. The real pandemic is DEI woke mafia ideologies purported by the Obama-Clinton consortium. But again, we're gonna counter jinx because Biden stinks. Captain Mike, what a great slogan. That should be a T-shirt right there, y'all. So I don't want to jinx that, but that I think is pretty important, and I also think it's pretty powerful. Now, so I want to talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. I have to talk about this, okay? So what's going to happen tomorrow? So the Communist News Network, CNN, is infringing upon Americans' rights. It is absolutely under the fair use law. Copyright law is very tricky. It's very complicated. Now, I plan to go live here on YouTube. We're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Rumble. And they issued a DMCA, which is a digital takedown, which essentially means they could take down my entire channel. Now, YouTube has been our hub. This is our headquarters. This is the best video platform on planet Earth when it comes to logistics, when it comes to uploading, when it comes to reaching people, when it comes to the vastness of their engagement and their reach across the globe. Nothing compares to YouTube. I wish Rumble would step up their game and even come close, but it's not even a molecule. So our headquarters is always front and center here on YouTube. No matter of what you think of the political ideologies that roam the hallways and byways of the C-suite here at YouTube, it is still the greatest video platform, the greatest way for us to spread our message, raise awareness, and get our country back. Now, having said that, there's two places that I know of right now that are not going to comply with the DMCA from Communist News Network, CNN. Yes, El Choppers, it's good to see you. El Choppers called it criminal narcissistic news. I like that even better. There's two platforms. And so I highly recommend, if you haven't already, it's in the pinned comment right now, and it's also in the show notes and description. Follow me on X/Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, and follow me on Rumble, because I am going to stream with my live commentary and analysis, and I want you to be there with me. I am going to stream on Rumble and X. I am not going to be streaming here on YouTube. That decision is final. The risk is too great. If they take down our channel, I will lose my ability, okay, to continue to do these videos, continue to share the truths that the American people need to hear, continue to fight for the red, white, and blue, because there just won't be enough here. YouTube is the ultimate hub, and there won't be enough for me to go on to continue. So the risk versus reward is something that I have weighed heavily for the last 3 or 4 days. Thank you, Seashell Mac. I hope to see you. We're going to have fun. It's going to be a party. Can you imagine? Because Trump's going to absolutely demolish the vegetable in chief. By the way, who do you think's going to win tomorrow? I can't wait to hear this. Who do you think's going to win tomorrow? Let me know in capital letters. Who do you think's going to win tomorrow in the comments? Oh, we're going to have a blast. We're going to have a blast tomorrow because we're going to watch the obliteration of the anti-American woke mafia with its puppet, rigor mortis Biden. So we're going to have a blast. But again, it was my utter dismay, to my utter crestfallen dejection, that Communist News Network, which is holding the first debate and issuing exclusive rights, they will take down YouTube channels. You probably heard from Tim Pool. You probably heard from Barry Cunningham, who I'm friends with, and we've been talking behind the scenes, and others, that it's just not going to work. The risk versus reward. There is a small chance they won't take down the channel, but the risk is too great, and I can't have that happen. This is the best way for me to reach all of you guys. So please, 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 I'm begging you. Really, there's 3 things you need to do right now. Number 1, if you haven't already, subscribe to our free newsletter. That's in the pinned comment, okay? That's free. All you got to do is give us your best email, bada boom, bada bing, and you're set. Cowboy Rob, you are awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you all shout outs at the end of the stream, I promise. If every single one of you creators told you flat out, you will sure take down all of your stuff, you guys would win. Thank you, Cowboy Rob. Thank you. It's all automatic though. It's all done digitally. So it's done in a second. It's all automated. It's not like they're going pick and choose. And so right now you need to subscribe to our free newsletter. Also, 2 quick follows. Rumble, follow us on Rumble in the pinned comment. And I'm Professor Nez everywhere. Pretty much at Professor Nez everywhere. Okay. Follow us on Rumble and follow us on X. Just if you have your app, you can simply open up your X app, open up your Rumble, and just type in Professor Nez, and you'll see me there. I have it conveniently for you in the pinned comment. I also have it conveniently for you in the show notes and description of this stream, this show. You can easily do it. Finbar, power cut traffic. I still can't see it happening. Yeah, it's just, there is a chance. There's a definite chance, Finbar. Thank you so much. Also, I haven't said this yet too. All super chats, all new members, all of that is going towards Trump's campaign because we have to get our country back. All of the proceeds are going to Trump's campaign. There's a small chance. There's a very, very small chance that they won't take us down, but the risk is too great because the legal ramifications. I've consulted a copyright attorney. I've looked at every single imaginable route around this. The risk is too big versus the reward. And so thank you, Joseph Ricard, for gifting 5 memberships. You are awesome, Joseph. The risk is just too big, is too much. So the risk is bigger than the reward. So I'm going to be streaming the debate live. I want you guys to be there because we're going to have a party watching the evisceration of the Democratic, anti-American, far extreme radicals who want to take down our country. We're going to watch the evisceration live on TV. And by the way, Trump isn't debating Biden. He's debating Fake Tapper and Dana Crash. That's who he's debating. The real debate is between Trump and CNN. By the way, let me know in the comments. Do you think he's going to be treated fairly tomorrow? Do you actually think Trump's going to be treated fairly tomorrow? Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's move on. So please make sure you follow me, Rumble and X. Okay, moving on. Moving on to our next news piece. Controversy erupts over Judge Hidalgo. Controversy erupts over Judge Hidalgo, who I can't even believe that this woman is an actual judge, okay? Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo faces criticism. Why? Because she blamed President Trump for the brutal rape and unaliveness of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare by 2 illegal aliens. And she was called out by a reporter for politicizing the incident. Well, she actually said in the interview, I'm going to show you the clip right now. Check this out. Let's watch the clip first because I can't believe this. I can't believe this. This is absolutely phenomenal. Check this out.
Me, it hurts even more that they're being used as pawns in this fight over immigration that doesn't even exist because Biden and McConnell agree. It's just that Trump won't let him move it forward.
All due respect, Judge, you said this issue shouldn't be politicized, but by pointing the finger at former President Trump and Republicans in Congress, aren't you politicizing it?
So here's what's happening here. This is such a sad case. What happened to this poor 12? I have a 11-year-old daughter, and I have a 12-year-old son. Or actually, my daughter's going to be 11 in August. And this poor 12-year-old girl, Jocelyn, was simply just minding her own business, and she was attacked and unalived by these 2 illegal aliens who, by the way, were deported once before, but because of rigor mortis Biden's egregious, unbelievably criminal border policy, also he could get votes. He's also issued an immediate radical amnesty, which accelerates their citizenship so they can vote. It's like this should be plastered over every single corporate media, mainstream media, independent media. I'm the only one who's talking about this. This should be the biggest news in the entire world. An American president. I mean, you guys, I have to look at you real fast. It gets me so upset. As a father and as a patriot, as a husband, I literally just want to wring cackling Kamala. I want to punch Obama right in the gut, right in the kisser, because these are the guys. It's not rigor mortis. This guy's so he has no idea where he is. He has no idea where he is. He's lost. He's not in control. You low down, rotten, narcissistic, selfish scum of the earth. You care about winning and retaining your power so much that you have actually put Americans' lives in, you've sacrificed innocent citizens. You've destroyed families. You've destroyed families because you know you can't beat Trump legitimately. This is the highest crime. This is the highest crime we've seen in the last 60, 70, maybe 100 years. This is the highest crime. And somehow, some way, they keep getting away with it. Somehow, some way, our American citizens, our fellow citizens, keep voting for this vermin to get into office. And then on top of all of that, imagine if you're the father of Jocelyn. Imagine if you're the mother listening to this pariah and she calls herself a judge. Listen to this. Oh my God. It is so egregious. One more time. I just want to listen to this one more time.
Me, it hurts even more that they're being used as pawns in this fight over immigration that doesn't even exist because Biden and McConnell agree. It's just that Trump won't let them move it forward.
All due respect, Judge, you said this issue shouldn't be politicized, but by pointing the finger at former President Trump and Republicans in Congress, aren't you politicizing it?
She gets a note from somebody, and she looks so unconfident when she says it.
I think I answered the question. So, yeah, I mean, this is about Jocelyn. This is about her family, and if we want to,
Judge,
as I said, talk about immigration.
You didn't answer the question. Are you politicizing this by pointing the finger at Republicans and saying it's their fault?
Yes.
Not the fault of the Biden administration that lifted the Remain in Mexico policies.
Again, the Biden administration reached an agreement with Leader McConnell to address this, but this is not about immigration. I'm not going to feed into that.
Wait. What? They agreed to what? No, they didn't. They didn't agree to jack. You call yourself a judge? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, between her and Judge Suge Knight and Judge Pussycat McAfee, what is happening? And Amy Coney Barrett, we haven't even talked about that yet. What she did today? What is happening with our judicial system? Has the Obama-Clinton-Oprah consortium, have they infiltrated? Has cackling Kamala, who, by the way, was the worst attorney general my great state, California, has ever seen. The worst governor that this state has ever seen is Newsom. The worst mayor of any major metropolitan city is Mayor Karen Bass. We're seeing crime. We're seeing businesses. We're seeing exoduses from hardworking citizens. We're seeing corporations. Everybody's leaving California. And it all started really with her legislation that she passed when she was attorney general. And she's pretty much slept her way to the top. I just don't understand what's happening to our, this is a judge? I mean, she doesn't look like she could manage a McDonald's in, Sudan. What is going on here? What is happening? You're passing legislation. You're presiding over like criminal and major cases that affect thousands of lives, if not millions. What in the world is going on? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. I would love to hear that. Captain Mike says my Rumble is not working. It's not? Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I might have to, here, I'll fix that. Let me, hold on a second. Let me fix that. Thank you for letting me know. You call yourself a judge? And then instead of actually taking some responsibility, by the way, how is Trump to blame for any of that? How is Trump to blame for any of that? What did Trump do? Tell me what did Trump do? Because I don't understand that. What exactly did Trump do? Anybody? How did he stop? Remember, this is the most important aspect right here. Remember this, okay? Remember, okay, I'm sharing the link right now, Captain Mike. Can you please copy that and paste it, copy it and save it for your records? Please. Thank you. And I'll go back and I'll post the free newsletter. First of all, this is important to remember, okay? This is extremely, extremely important to remember. Biden does not need Congress to close the border. Biden does not need anybody. He can do it through executive order. He can do it. So the fact that they're saying that this is Trump's fault, the fact that they're saying that this has anything to do with the House, the border is completely unrelated to what the House does, what the Senate does. Biden could have closed this back in January when he said he didn't have the power. He said, I don't have the power. Give me that's a bold-faced lie. All he needs to do is issue an executive order and say, close it, give the power back to the Border Patrol Union and the actual Border Patrol to enforce. And he could kill, catch, and release. And guess what? We would not have, how many is it now? 18 million, 20 million illegal migrants who commit. And this is not the brightest and best. Everything Trump said was absolutely right. It's not the brightest and best. It's murderers, it's rapists, it's killers, thugs, cartels. Captain Mike, I just issued my my Twitter X link too. Can you save that as well? Thank you. Absolute travesty. Absolute travesty. Yep, misfit trucker. I love it. Another DEI POS judge. Exactly. Destroying our country. Joseph said Trump made America great again on his term, and he will make it amazing again. Yeah, you know, I mean, he's going to have a tough run at the debate because it's going to be 3 against 1. I mean, really 2.5 against 1 because, I mean, Biden doesn't really count as a full opponent. He's going to be lost. And boy, how many people think he's going to be juiced up? The juice. Talk about a new juice. He is going to be so. Do you think he's going to be massively juiced up before tomorrow? Let me know in the comments. Holy macadamia nut. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about SCOTUS, the Supreme Court. Let's talk about SCOTUS and what they did with this new law that was passed, okay, about social media. So the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Biden administration, allowing the White House and federal agencies to continue urging social media platforms to remove content they consider as misinformation. The decision was made with a 6-3 vote with Justice Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch dissenting. So Roberts, Barrett, and obviously all the other liberal judges, I don't even know who they are, Sotomayor and Ketanji, and I don't even care. I don't even know. The court found that the plaintiffs lacked standing to sue, dismissing claims of unlawful coercion by the administration, which effectively means the government can censor Americans' constitutionally protected speech as long as they outsource it to a third party. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely insane. Here's Alito's dissent. Alito says, that is regrettable. What the officials did in this case was more subtle than the ham-handed censorship found to be unconstitutional in Vuo, but it was no less coercive. And because of the perpetrators' high positions, it was even more dangerous. It was blatantly unconstitutional, and the country may come to regret the court's failure to say so. Officials who read today's decision together with Vullo will get the message. If a coercive campaign is carried out with enough sophistication, it may get by. That is not a message that this court should send. That's the dissenting opinion by Justice Justice Alito. What do you guys think about that? The Supreme Court ruled that in the Murthy v. Missouri case that the Biden administration can coerce social media companies to censor and shadow ban people in posts it doesn't like. Congress will now need to act to enforce the Constitution since the Supreme Court won't. So I want to play you this clip from Jonathan Turley, who I completely, this is, by the way, this is a Democrat attorney, by the way, a Democrat. Jonathan Turley is an attorney. He's the same guy who claimed and said, rightly so, that the Trump trial in New York by Alvin Do-Nothing Bragg and Letitia Big Shame James was a complete sham. No victim, no crime. We don't even know what the crime is. We don't even know what the charges are. There wasn't even a unanimous decision by the jury. It's so embarrassing for our country. But I want you to listen to what Jonathan Turley has to say about this, because I think this is pretty important, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this. So let's check this out right here.
This is one of the most fundamental issues that we are facing. I wrote about this issue, this case, in my recent book, because you have one of the largest censorship systems in our history, if not the largest. It's been called Orwellian by lower court judges. And what the court is saying is that we won't hear you on this issue because you're not the right litigants. Now, I have to admit, I've always been something of a standing dove. I believe that these standing decisions are too narrow because they do prevent the court from rendering a decision on such important constitutional questions. So this issue will have to wait for another day. But one of the things that many of us have been arguing for years is that the government is engaging in censorship by surrogate. I testified about this in Congress, that they have made a mockery of the limits of the First Amendment by doing indirectly what they're barred from doing directly. They're using academic and corporate allies to bar and cancel and blacklist critics on a variety of different subjects. So it's going to be very frustrating for the free speech community because we've been trying to see if there will be a final decision to strengthen free speech.
Very interesting here. Very, very interesting. And I think that Jonathan Turley just kind of nails it on the head. If you guys remember, before Elon Musk purchased Twitter and changed it to X, which again, follow me on X at Professor Nez, there was a ton of shadow banning. They completely buried. Really what this has to do with is the Hunter Biden laptop story, which was purposefully, deliberately buried before the 2020 election. Now, in his gun trial in Delaware, it all came to light. Now, in his gun trial, it was used as conclusive evidence. It was admissible in a court of law in a high-profile case with the president's son, Hunter Biden. But all these years, we were called crazy. We were called conspiracy theorists. Why? Because we knew it was true, and we knew we were being shadow banned. We knew we were being censored. We knew that they were burying the story. And now the Supreme Court, everybody's really, really upset, especially with Amy Coney Barrett. What's her name? Amy Coney Barrett? Especially with her, because I mean, how could she do this? Samuel Alito's outraged. It was 6-3. It was 6-3. And it just, in Jonathan Turley's words, it gives the government this sort of clandestine subterfuge of surreptitiously censoring people like us. Independent media organizations or anybody like you who posts anything. Where is the First Amendment? Where is free speech? It's again a admonition of the American intellect. It's again, a statement that says the American people are stupid. We'll believe anything. We don't have any discerning ability. We have no critical thinking. Russia can completely manipulate us into voting for somebody, which makes no sense to me at all. And we're just a bunch of automatons that have no brains and can't exercise critical thinking. That's what they think of us. So it's Orwellian, as Turley says. It's completely Orwellian. It's completely Big Brother. It's completely big government taking over and saying, we know better than you do because you guys are peasants and you don't know anything. Let Big Brother take over and show you how it's done. This is anti-American. It's anti-constitutional. It is anti-free speech. It is anti-freedom of expression. And this is a dangerous precedent. You're essentially saying, go ahead and shadow ban, go ahead and censor people that we don't like. Like, they're not going to abuse this. Yeah, of course, there might be some things that, deserve scrutiny. There might be some things, although I can't think of any really off the top of my head, that, should not be on a private platform. I get that. But to think that the government is going to exercise this right with ethics, with righteousness, with integrity at all times, you definitely think we're nothing but a bunch of fools. You definitely have zero confidence, and you all think we're stupid. And that just ain't it. Not this guy. And I'm telling you right now, our Nez Nation audience, you're not going to pull the wool over our eyes. It ain't going to happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Robert, good to see you. Robert Winsman says that's called tyranny. Yeah, we got the mods in the house. Twin Spark says government has slowly been taking our rights away for decades. Like, why would you vote for these people? Why would you vote for these people who literally want to enlarge the government? Why would you, Laura Tilford, it's great to see you. I agree. I mean, let me ask you guys a really serious question. Did Russia have any influence over you over the 2016 election? Did Russia make you vote for Hillary or Trump? Did Russia make you vote for Tombstone Biden or Trump in the last election? Did any of this BS coercion and collusion and hoax, did any of this crap, let's just say it wasn't a hoax. Let's just, for hypothetical purposes, let's just say it was actually, there was some interference or whatever you want to call that, which doesn't even make any sense. What kind of interference? By making posts on Facebook? When was the last time a post on Facebook made you go, you know what? I was going to vote for Trump. Now I'm going to vote for Biden. When was the last time you saw a post on Instagram? Oh my goodness, you know what? Hey, honey, come here. I'll tell you this. I was going to vote for Biden, but now I'm going to vote for Trump. Dun, dun, dun. Election interference. I can't whistle right now. I was trying to whistle for effect. That didn't happen. Who's a good whistler out there? I need a good whistler. I mean, it just makes it, they think that we're complete idiots. There is no such thing as Russian election interference. There is no such thing as collusion. There is no such thing as interference. We're not idiots. Nobody reads a Facebook post and goes, oh, ex-Army Sergeant says, Hillary Clinton pushed me to vote for Trump. Chad, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Any social media company with Section 230 immunity should be compelled to never delete free speech. Yeah, exactly. Which is not a foul of the law. If they are editors, they invite civil accountability as de facto content editors. Well said, Chad. I love that, Chad. I love the way you said that. Well said. Yeah. We, look, everybody should have the right. Now, you can't like lie, okay? You can't walk into a crowded theater and yell fire, okay? You can't just defame somebody and just elicit lies, but you should be free to express yourself without the fear. That's what the forefathers, that's what our beautiful, brilliant forefathers embedded into the Constitution. We have the right for freedom of expression, freedom of speech. The government will not enact any law to abridge our freedom of speech and our freedom of expression. This law right here, this case, is a precedent. And I think it's absolutely, I think it's absolutely egregious. Chad, I absolutely love the way that you said that. I really do. I absolutely love the way you said that. So I'm very shocked that Amy Coney Barrett, Amy Coney Barrett actually did that. I'm very, very shocked, and I just don't understand how this is something that we can actually support. I don't know how this is something that we can support. Hopefully, we can get this taken away, and we can actually get some kind of sense back on this. Okay, our next news item, our next big story of the day. Oh, I love talking about this. Is Latimer defeated squad communist Marxist squad member Bowman, who had some serious desperate, I mean, you want to talk about desperate, had some serious desperate attempts to try to win his primary in the 16th congressional district of New York. I thought this was hilarious, where I'm going to play you this clip real fast. Bowman has lost. And he starts yelling in his concession speech. This is the guy, remember, if you don't know who Bowman is, Jamal Bowman, who actually pulled a fire alarm during a session of Congress, and he said it was an accident. He said he thought it, he actually said, he said it was a false alarm. He thought it was something, he's a fire alarm specialist. He didn't know it was a fire alarm. He actually claimed, see, again, this is the same party that says, don't believe your eyes. This is the same party that says, no, everything's okay with Biden. Biden's sharp as a tack. Don't believe your eyes. What are you talking about? The economy is great. Don't believe your wallet. What are you talking about? What illegal aliens? These guys are immigrants looking for a better life. Don't believe your eyes. What you see, these are military-age men from China, Venezuela, from the Middle East, from Russia, from Ukraine. Don't believe your eyes. Believe us. I mean, this is not the Democratic Party that I grew up with. It just isn't. And I think Bill Maher has attested to that, and so many other Democrats and libertarians. This is not the Democratic Party. If this is the Democratic Party you grew up with, let me know in the comments. But to me, this is so radically unrecognizable. They have molded and deteriorated into the unrecognizable, radical, extreme progressive left. It's not even something that you can identify. And so, Jamal Bowman, you are fired. You are done. You are finished. So classic, because he was claiming all this stuff, holding all these insane rallies, and he lost. He lost to Latimer, to George Latimer. He completely lost. And I think this is hilarious. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm going to play this video right here from Marjorie Taylor Greene because I think it's funny. Wait till you see this. This is so good right here. Hold on a second. You have to see what Marjorie Taylor Greene posted because I just think it's absolutely hilarious. And you got to see this. Check this out.
Hi, everyone. We're at the infamous door where Jamal Bowman claims he had to pull a fire alarm to get out. Now, these doors are open on weekdays. Every member of Congress knows that. Everybody that works here knows that. But on Saturdays and Sundays, they are locked, and only certain doors are open on Saturdays and Sundays. Now, come on over here. This right here is a fire alarm. Nowhere does it say pull the fire alarm to open the exit door. Doesn't say that, and I think ex-middle school principals know better. Let me show you how we go when we need to go vote. I know this because my office is in here in Keenan Building. Come on, go this way. Oh, look, there's stairs.
This is kind of cool.
By the way, we had to use the stairs to evacuate the Cannon building after Jamal Bowman pulled the fire alarm. Now, here's where you have an option. As members of Congress, you can continue to go down the stairs this way, and you can go in the basement, and we can walk in the tunnel that goes under the road to the Capitol. We do that all the time, especially if the weather's bad. Or you can come around this way. See where that says exit? It exits out on New Jersey. This one is open all the time, not just some of the time, all the time. So let's explain very clearly again. Jamal Bowman didn't pull the fire alarm to try to get out of the building because he had to rush to go vote. I know that for a fact because I also work in the Cannon office building, and I watched Catherine Clark, the Democrat whip, make a motion to adjourn, and then within minutes, Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm, and he knew he was pulling a fire alarm because he's a former middle school principal.
How do you not
And
know?
then he ran out of the building and didn't tell anybody he did that. And this building was evacuated for over an hour, and Congress had to hold the vote open. That's usually only 15 minutes on the first vote. They held it open for over an hour as well. There's some serious problems for Jamal Bowman, and he needs to be prosecuted for violating the same federal law that they are prosecuting January 6th defendants and President Trump.
I think she's such a pistol. I think she is such a pistol. I think she's absolutely fantastic. I really do. And so George Latimer won by almost 10 percentage points. So bye-bye, Jamal Bowman. That's one squad member down. And how many more do we have? 4 or 5 more to go. Now, not to damper the mood, but AOC did win her primary, but there's a lot of people speculating that she will not win in November in the actual election. And so it could be very, very interesting to see. But I think this is really, really big news for 2 reasons. Number one, because it shows their lack of depth. It shows their lack of understanding of their constituents, of the people of New York. They're sick and tired of seeing migrants run around committing crime after crime, taking their homes, taking their things out of their stores, robbing them, taking their cars, et cetera, getting credit cards to pay for their free lifestyle while everybody else has to pay taxes and work and blood, sweat, and tears. It also shows that this could be a trend. This could be a trend. People are sick and tired of this anti-Semitic rhetoric. They're sick and tired of this anti-American rhetoric. I mean, you look at people like Ilhan Omar and AOC and Representative Jayapal. I mean, you just get this feeling they don't love America and they're not representing America faithfully. At least that's the feeling I get. I truly don't see their oath, their pledge of allegiance to our great country, the United States of America. It's been evident not only in their policies, in their programs and their initiatives, but in their actual character and their demeanor. But I want to throw this off to you guys. What do you guys think of Bowman losing to Latimer? And I agree. I think MTG is an absolute pistol, and I absolutely love her. I think she's fantastic. Does she say a lot of outlandish things? Of course. Does she say things that you just kind of go, whoa? Of course. Are there times where she should just maybe chill out? Yes and no. I mean, I think her ferocity and her vivaciousness is her greatest quality. Is she wrong sometimes? Of course. But I love her fight. And I've been saying this time and time again. Give me a capital BALLS in the comments. I've said it time and time again. My favorite president of all time, next to Abraham Lincoln, is Theodore Roosevelt. Balls. We need balls in this country again. I'm sick and tired of tiptoeing around the truth. We need balls. Trump brings balls. Give me a capital BALLS in the comments down below. Okay, now this is really, really big news, and then we're going to talk about one more thing. Representative Luna going after the audio tapes. Remember the audio tapes? For some reason, Nixon had to give up his tapes, right? He couldn't hide behind executive privilege, but for some reason, Tombstone rigor mortis Biden can. So Robert Hur recorded the conversation, basically the interrogation with Biden over the classified documents, and Biden claimed executive privilege, all backed by the DOJ, the corrupt DOJ and Merrick Garland. Well, check this out. Representative Anna Paulina Luna has given Attorney General Merrick Garland a 48-hour ultimatum to turn over the audio tapes of a special counsel interview with President Joe Biden. Failure to comply by this Friday, the 28th. Oh, by the way, Trump's giving a speech. We're going to have a live stream this Friday night. Woo! Live stream Friday, Trump speech. Failure to comply by Friday could lead to Garland being held in inherent contempt of Congress. The House is also preparing to file a lawsuit against the DOJ to enforce a subpoena for those tapes. Why don't you share the tapes? Hey, Tombstone Biden and Nez Nation, let me know in the comments. Why are you not sharing the tapes? If you've got nothing to hide, if you're so mentally fortified and with it and cognitively able, and you've got nothing to hide, what's the problem sharing the tapes? It's the same double standard you gave to President Nixon. Why are you hiding behind an executive privilege? Why are you not sharing the tapes? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. So let's take a look at this clip from this press conference. Representative, what do you guys think of Representative Luna, too? I think she's a little bit of a pistol, isn't she? Okay, let's take a look at this and let me know what you guys think of this. We'll talk about it. Check this out.
Here today because of the double standard that exists within the justice system. As you know, on February 27th, the Oversight Committee, as well as House Judiciary, had sent a subpoena to Attorney General Garland, of which we received no response. And after referring him for criminal contempt within 48 hours or less, the Department of Justice refused to prosecute. Inherent contempt is clearly within our Article 1 authorities, and Congress does have the power to investigate all legislative powers. Investigations are part of our legislative process, and people that interfere with these processes should be held accountable. Inherent contempt was first used in 1795, and this was further upheld in a Supreme Court decision in 1927 in McGrain versus Doherty that stated that Congress does indeed have this authority. It's important to note that when an individual is called before courts across the country, they appear. Why should the Attorney General, who is supposed to be head of all law enforcement authorities, any different? Garland still has time to comply with this request. We are asking that he bring the tapes to the House and let us listen to them. But in the event that he does not, we will press forward with calling the privilege motion on inherent contempt to the floor on Friday morning. It is also important to note that if we as a Congress do not have the ability to enforce our investigative ability, that we are essentially going to be ignored and undercut and essentially handicapped by all other branches, which would make us not a co-equal branch of government.
Interesting stuff there. So what do you guys think about that? So, I mean, is it too little too late? Is it about time? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I would definitely love to hear what is on those tapes. I think it is probably so damning. It is probably such a blight on Biden's mental faculties and God knows what else. But I would love to hear that. Representative Paulina Luna also says it's simple. The DOJ decided not to prosecute Biden. Merrick Garland decided not to turn over the evidence to back the DOJ's decision. Congress holds him in contempt. DOJ refuses to prosecute Garland. Inherent contempt. Defy subpoenas, be held accountable. I think that's really powerful of her, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I think this is super interesting, and I'd like to see what could be something that comes out of this. What could be something that they end up talking about? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much, Mobile Mark, for the for the support. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, why the double standard? Why the double standard? I mean, is it just me, or is there a major double standard here? Because I just don't understand that. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And I just get such a bad vibe. I think when I heard him being grilled by Jim Jordan and others in the Judiciary Committee, and in that press conference where he says, I don't need to respond to any subpoena. He seems, is it just me? Or, maybe 10, 12 years ago, I felt I had I really did have respect for Merrick Garland. Has power gotten to his head, or was he always like this? Free poll. Let me know in the comments. Has power gotten to Merrick Garland's head, or has he always just been like this and he's been hiding it? I don't understand. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Okay, let's talk about the January 6th committee. Let's talk about the January 6th committee and what is happening here, because I think this is really, really interesting, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. The House has invalidated, the January 6th committee, and I think it's kind of interesting, and I would love to kind of hear your thoughts on everything that's happening here. Let's talk about this. So, Representative Loudermilk and his subcommittee are investigating numerous security failures leading up to and on January 6, 2021, and reviewing the creation, operation, and results of the partisan select committee to investigate the January 6th, quote unquote, assault or attack on the United States Capitol. It is settled law that Congress must follow its own rules. Loudermilk argues that the Select Committee's blatant non-compliance with House rules and resolutions means that it was unlawfully constituted, and both its subpoena to Mr. Bannon, remember Steve Bannon got subpoenaed, and the subsequent criminal referral that led to his convictions are invalid. So specifically, the Select Committee was illegal from the start. Creating a Select Committee provided that the Speaker shall appoint 13 members, 5 of whom shall be appointed after consultation with the minority leader. However, the Select Committee had only 9 members because then Speaker, pushing up Daisy's Pelosi, ignored this provision to silence dissent. Of course, pushing up daisies. Everybody, let me get a big thumb down or a poop emoji for pushing up Daisy's Pelosi in the comments right now. The Select Committee ignored deposition rules. House Regulation 50356B specifically stated that the Select Committee's deposition authority was, quote, governed by the procedures submitted by the chair of the Committee on Rules for Printing in Congressional Record, end quote. The House Committee on Rules Regulations for the Use of Deposition Authority required the Select Committee's chairman to consult with the ranking minority member prior to conducting a deposition. This rule was also ignored. The Select Committee also lacked a ranking minority member and therefore could not conduct lawful investigations. The Select Committee ignored House rules requiring a ranking minority member. How do you do that? Representative Liz Cheney was named vice chair. A vice chair is distinct and different from a ranking minority member under House rules, conference and caucus rules, and the precedent. Without a ranking member, the Select Committee could not conduct lawful investigations. And then finally, the Select Committee failed to follow the rules when it referred to Mr. Bannon for contempt. They claimed that he improperly and illegally refused to appear for a deposition. However, because the Select Committee chose not to have a ranking member, it could not lawfully conduct Mr. Bannon's deposition. What do you think about that? Essentially, the House invalidates the entire January 6th committee, which I think has ramifications on everything following that, including any criminal charges on former President Trump. Yes, thank you, Patty. Good to see you on Rumble with a big poop emoji. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that's kind of interesting, is it not? I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, it's pretty big news. It's all over the place. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. What do you guys think of that? And what do you think are the ramifications of that, making its way to having any kind of impact, right? Loudermilk's petition was filed by a lawyer with the Trump-aligned America First Legal Foundation, the legal group formed by Trump advisor Stephen Miller. Quote, as such, this court should conclude that the entire prosecutorial process was tainted and must be dismissed as a matter of law. Representative Barry Loudermilk wrote in a brief to the Supreme Court to support the former White House aide, Steve Bannon. Wow. So Bannon was found in contempt of Congress. We all know that. We all heard the news about that. Trump is also criminally charged in Georgia, Cash Money G's district, for somehow his efforts to subvert the results. So this is really interesting. I mean, this is a multi-tiered conspiracy that has been launched by this invalid, totally invalid subcommittee by, I call her power hungry. She's demonstrated time and time again. I'm talking about Liz Cheney here. She just demonstrates to me that she's not really a Republican, kind of like the Lincoln Project. I mean, they're like treasonous traitors to me. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can back Biden and call yourself a conservative or call yourself a Republican. It just makes no sense. Am I the only one? I don't know. It just seems absolutely crazy to me. So really, really interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Yes. Asif 00 Pelosi. Yeah. Chad says, don't worry. Fannie and Earl got this one on heads. Yes, they do. Exactly. Robert Winsman says Pelosi and FBI ran the J6 setup. Well said. Absolutely. Jim Barron, it's so good to see you. Patron Pelosi. Patron. I love it. It's Piglosi, says Mental Medalist's wife. I love it. Yeah. Mutt Bunch says, I can't stand the Lincoln Project. I can't either. I really don't. Yeah. Kuzinger is I did. Yes. Chad brings up a good point. I'm so happy you're here, Chad. Adam Kinzinger, traitor, treasonous. He endorsed Biden today. He's endorsing criminals coming into our country. The same thing that happened to Lincoln Riley and Jocelyn Nungarai. These poor families, and these are just the ones that we've identified. There's countless others. He supports us paying exorbitant amounts of money at the pump, at the grocery store. Cost of living, standard of living has gone, exponentially higher. Inflation out of control. The economy in the dumps. He supports the absolute chaos and meltdown of the Middle East, Israel, Gaza, Iran, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Egypt. He absolutely supports and endorses this never-ending war, which is essentially a money laundering scheme in Ukraine, where every military expert worth their weight in gold has said it is inevitable that Ukraine is going to lose. He's basically initiating World War III. We're practically in the midst of the beginnings of World War III. Knock on wood. I hope it never gets to that actual point. But we're essentially here without. It's like the emperor wears no clothes. We're not calling it what it is, but it's essentially happening. So it's just this Adam guy should be. I think this guy should be completely deported. Send him to a country that he actually supports. Hey. Congressman Kinzinger, whatever the hell your name, I can't even pronounce your name. You need help packing? I'll help. Why don't you move to a country that you actually support? I'll help you pack. How many people will help me help Adam Kinzinger pack? I would love to help you pack, pal, any day of the week. Okay, last story here we're going to talk about, and then now is your chance to be a member. I would highly consider becoming a member. I want to talk about this and share a clip because I think this might be the next vice president. But there was a Trump roundtable of Black leaders in Atlanta, Georgia. The Trump campaign organized a roundtable discussion at a barber shop in Atlanta, Georgia, featuring prominent Black American business leaders, including Congressman Byron Donalds, Dr. Ben Carson, and Congressman Wesley Hunt. The event aimed to highlight the Trump administration's achievements for Black Americans and was held a day before today, before the presidential debate on CNN, Communist News Network. The discussion was part of an effort to engage with and garner support from the Black community. I have a great clip here of Dr. Ben Carson. I'd like for you guys to, I'd like to share this with you. I thought this was really, really cool. Let's talk about this real quick. And then here's Dr. Ben Carson right here. Check this out.
You're told from the time that you're a child, there are two things you don't talk about in public: politics and religion. But those are the exact things we need to be talking about these days, because there's a change in the air. There's things going on that only come to light when you talk about them. Yes. Evil flourishes best in the dark. That's right. Doesn't want the light shined on it. That's right. And that's why we have to begin to talk about these things in a very serious way. You know, you talk about the Trump administration before this administration. It was amazing. You know, the opportunity zones, $75 billion of money brought in from the private sector into depressed communities, mostly minority communities, lifted 1 million people out of poverty, provided incredible opportunities. You know, HBCUs. Every time we started talking about HBCUs, President Trump's ears would perk up. And, you know, he established a pipeline so that you don't have to come and beg every year. That's incredible. The justice system, the inequality of the sentencing, all these things, they were dealt with without a lot of fanfare. And I'm just hoping that the Black community is noticing this. You know, a lot of people in the Black communities and in the liberal community in general say, you know, Carson changed. I haven't changed one bit in the last 20 or 30 years. You read my books from 20 or 30 years ago, they say the same things I'm talking about now. The only thing that changed is that I became a Republican, sure. You know, and we need to get beyond that and really look at what works for people.
So that was Ben Carson, and then I'd like to share a clip also of I'd like to share. Oh wait, actually, President Trump calls in. Listen to President Trump right here. This is pretty cool. I'd like to share this. President Trump calls into the barbershop. Let's play that because I think that's really cool. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, check this out. This is pretty cool right here. President Trump calling in.
About a month ago, I was at my building in Las Vegas having dinner with some big people, business people that were, you know, planning some big developments and things. And the waitress came over and said, how you doing? How you doing? And she said, oh, the government is after me all the time for my tax on tips. I said, really? They do that? He said, yeah, Biden just made the regulations much tougher. And it's very tough nowadays, tax on tips. And I said, how would you like to be no tax on tips? Because first of all, it's very hard, you know, it's a very hard thing to control from the government standpoint. But the people are very unhappy about what's happening, especially the new regulations. And anyway, I just came up with the concept of no tax on tips. Let the people earn what they earn. And I'll tell you, it has been so popular beyond anything. I've never seen anything like
it. No tax on tips, baby. Yeah. So, I mean, the data doesn't lie, by the way. The data doesn't lie, guys. With the Black and Hispanic demographic, Biden has dropped double digits. And all of those people have gone to support Trump more than he ever has. He has gained, and he's gaining and gaining because people are sick and tired of not being able to afford the cost of living. People are sick and tired of paying exorbitant gas fees, exorbitant bills, taxes on tips, inflation, grocery. I can't even buy eggs. I want to buy some eggs, for crying out loud, and they're super expensive. And so everybody is sick and tired of it and fed up. And I think that's another reason why Bowman from the squad, Marxist Lenin and Bowman, lost. People are sick and tired of these guys. You're letting all these illegal aliens, you're giving them $15,000. I could use a $15,000 credit card. Hello, I could use a $15,000 credit card. Okay, I'm going to give shout outs to all the super chats and new members. And then also now is your chance to become a new member, because right after this, I am going to do members only live stream and only on YouTube. So if you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Rumble, come on over to YouTube in about 10 minutes and or right now, and think about becoming a member. It only costs you a cup of coffee for an entire month. A cup of coffee for an entire month. All proceeds go to the Trump campaign. We got to get our country back. It's time. We got to get our country back. I want to give a big shout out to Matt Bunch. Don't be a chump. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Don't be a chump. Vote for Trump. That's my saying since 2016. Put Ruggin62 in timeout for not giving me credit for my saying. Okay, I will. Who's Ruggin62? we got some heated debate in the chat. Is that what's happening? Chad Brummett, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I'm not sure about my dead relatives, but me and my house are voting for Trump. Counter jinx. That's right. Biden stinks. Chad, thank you so much for that. Cowboy Rob, if every single one of you creators told you to flat out, we will sure and take down all of your stuff, you guys would win. Thank you, Cowboy Rob. You are the best. Thank you. And thank you, Joseph Ricard. Thank you so much. Gifting 5 Professor Nez memberships. By the way, you get badges next to your name, special shout outs and live stream, top priority comment responses, top priority when we have guests on of asking your question to our guest. We've had amazing guests and we got so many more coming, as well as you get access to our members only Discord. That is really special, where you get to hang out, engage, in a way that you just can't anywhere else, with like-minded people supporting the channel. So think about becoming a member. There's different tiers too. Hammer, DJT versus CIA. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Chad, again, thank you so much. We need a new club or award. Judges Without Judgment. I like that. Thank you so much, Chad. Chad, you were on fire. What goes down to go up? Kamala. I was behind a bit there, but could not resist. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Chad, you are absolutely on fire. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Jan Cott, it's so good to see you. Professor Nez brings the truth. Trump 2024. Thank you so much, Jan. We got to get our country back. It's time, y'all. Thank you, Chad. Chad, with the $20. Chad Brumet, you are awesome. Really, really appreciate you, Chad. Any social media company with Section 230 immunity should be compelled to never delete free speech, which is not a foul of the law. Exactly. If they are at which 230, if you don't know what Section 230 is, and I'm just off the top of my head, it basically alleviates any liability for social media platforms for whatever their users post. So there's no liability to the company, which it shouldn't be. You're not in control of what people post. These places have become like, as Elon Musk calls Twitter or X, he calls it the digital town square. It should be free for all. That's why he bought it. He's an amazing dude. Squeaks6723, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. They said they need more evidence that the censorship hurt someone. There's still a chance, hurting the fate of the election. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And then everybody give a big round of applause. I'm really happy we have this guy. Welcome, Chad Brunet, to being a Brumet. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. Welcome, Chad, for being a new member. And speak of the devil, we're going to turn this into a members only live stream right now. So we are going to do that right now. And I hope everybody will join us for that. Okay, we are members only live Q&A. We're going to say goodbye to you, Facebook. Come on over to YouTube. We're going to say goodbye to you, Rumble. Come on over to YouTube. Let's see here. Yep, we're going to say goodbye to Twitch. We're going to say goodbye to Rumble. Come on over to YouTube and hang out with us if you want to. Okay. There we go. Okay, members only on YouTube. How in the world are you guys? Thank you, Peter Ortiz. Can the libs handle Carson? Okay, so I have to say this because I do think there is some criticism that is warranted. I think that Carson is very sleepy. He's very sleepy. He puts me to sleep a lot. I like him. I like his integrity. I like his background. I think he's going to help Trump win. But maybe we need somebody with a little more vitality, or do we not want somebody who's going to compete too much with President Trump and try to take over the show? Because Vivek could possibly take over the show. He has that kind of energy. Strawberry, we got a new member in Strawberry. Is that what happened? Or just saying hi? Hey, Strawberry, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Yep, awesome. Yeah, he kind of does. I agree. It's good to see you, Sassafras. Sassafras says he looks a little drowsy. Yeah, this is another good point by Chad. It's great to have you here, Chad. Welcome, by the way. And make sure you go to, hey, Mike, can you share the community tab? Make sure you go to our community tab. There is a members only post, which has the link to our members only Discord. So make sure you go check that out. Yeah, we definitely, I think we want the demographic, and we want to, I think it would be very powerful to have, and I feel sort of hesitant saying this, but it's just true. I think we definitely need to show America, and we need to show that demographic that, look, this is a powerful position. You're number 2, right, in the most powerful country of all time, the leader of the free world. And I like Byron Donalds a lot better than Ben Carson, but Ben Carson carries a lot of ethos, but he's super sleepy. And so I don't know. Vivek is the most articulate, the most powerful speaker, and he is a megahorn. He would be a fantastic megahorn, loyal to Trump, and he could argue cackling Kamala under the table. I think Dr. Ben Carson would get probably pummeled by anybody, maybe even cackling Kamala, but it'll be really, really interesting to see that. I think you bring up a great point. SGT, Tom Bales, good to see you. Welcome. Yep, we're members only right now. You can still watch, obviously, but consider becoming a member so you can join us. Good to see you, Villain. Yeah, Jim brings up a great point. I think Carson would make a great surgeon general. Yeah, I don't really like the guy that we have here. I don't like anybody that Biden's appointed, to be honest. But yeah, I do think Ben Carson would make a great, mental medalist's wife. What do you think of Doug Burgum? I don't, honestly, this is going to sound terrible because I hate bringing up something that you have zero control over. But I think having an all-white ticket it's the truth. It's just the truth. I think having an all-white ticket is going to hurt us. He is very, very qualified. He is a stalwart of the community. He's a powerful governor. He's a powerful politician. He's great at what he does, but we need to diversify the ticket. I hate even saying that and thinking that. I hate feeling that this is where the country has come, but we got to get our country back. And so we have to, in some ways, in a minutia level, we have to play the game. This is chess, not checkers. We got to play the game a little bit. I hate, again, my caveat to this is I hate saying that because I don't believe in race. I don't believe in discrimination. I think DEI didn't earn it is the worst idea that has ever come out of a human cranium and actually been implemented in some kind of process, system, or legislation because it is discrimination. There is no way around it. It is discrimination, period. We need a meritocracy. America was built on a meritocracy. The best person for the job, the best idea wins, period. And so I don't like saying that, but we cannot have a ticket that looks like that. And so if it is Burgum, I think he's going to lose a lot of votes. Just on that alone, I think he's going to lose a lot of votes, especially from the Hispanic Black demographic. He has to pick somebody. He has to. Villain brings up a good point. 2 billionaires. We don't want 2 billionaires. Yeah, I think Rubio's fine. I think he's a little bit frantic and a little bit kind of he's just not very likable. I think he's okay. I think he's good. He's just not that relatable and likable, but he's good. I don't think there's anything too wrong with Rubio, although he just hasn't really proven himself. He hasn't proven to be that kind of mighty backup that you need. And I don't know if I would be comfortable with him running the country. I really don't. Just in case, God forbid, something happens to Trump. I wouldn't be opposed if I don't know if I want Vivek running the country either, to be honest with you. I really don't. We got enough. I don't know if I want Vivek running the country. I don't think that's going to happen, knock on wood, anti-jinx. But I do think Byron Donalds, I think it's going to come down to either Byron Donalds or Dr. Ben Carson. I'm giving Dr. Ben Carson probably a 60, 70% lead, or at least a over 50% lead, a higher chance. I think he's in the top 2, if not the top pick. I do like Tim Scott too. I think Tim Scott's fine. I do. Yeah, Patty brings up a good point. A little bit arrogant. Yeah, I do agree that. Yes, Sassafras. I don't trust Rubio like that. I really don't. Yeah, for the Hispanic vote. I agree, Peter. I agree. I absolutely agree. I think if it's anybody other than Doug, I think people are going to appreciate that pick by somebody like Trump. Again, it shouldn't come down to that. It shouldn't come down to something like skin tone that you have zero control over. It shouldn't ever be a variable. It should come on a meritocracy and be based on merit solely. But it's just we got to play a little bit of the game. You just have to. Gabbard, yeah. What do you guys think of Tulsi Gabbard? Is that your pick, Mike? I don't have any problems with Tulsi Gabbard. I really don't. I don't think Tulsi Gabbard's bad, and I think she is a very powerful female of indigenous background. I don't have a problem with her. I just don't think she's going to be the pick. I don't think she's even got a shot. I really don't. Oh, it has? Okay. All right, Chad. Chad, go ahead and, you know what, Chad? Just go ahead and email me, and I'll send it to you personally, okay? All right, Chad. I'll send you the Discord link personally. Okay, Chad? Go ahead and do that. Email me right here. Nez@professornez.com. I'll send it to you personally right after this stream. Mike says former Democrat gives us an inside look. Yeah. I think Byron Donalds he's kind of in that Vivek category. He's still a little bit too green. I think the realistic choice is going to be Ben Carson. I don't think Doug has a shot, and he really shouldn't have a shot. Trump's not stupid. His campaign, his confidants are not stupid. We need to pick somebody who's going to help us win. It is the most inconsequential role in government, vice president, other than, certain points in extreme circumstances, breaking a tie in the Senate. God forbid something happens to the president. Theodore Roosevelt, my favorite president of all time, with balls, the man in the arena, he was a vice president once, and McKinley was assassinated at the turn of the century. But that's not something that we can count on. It's, knock on wood, something we don't want to happen, obviously. But yes, so I think those are interesting choices. I think Byron is still too green, though. He's just still too green. He's a great advocate. He's a great supporter. He's loyal. He can carry himself well, but he's still just too green. I don't know if that's gonna. I think the top 2 choices are going to be Ben Carson and Byron Donalds, but I think he's going to end up picking Carson. I really do. But it'd be really interesting. It'd be really, really interesting. Rhino vibes, yeah, Rhino vibes from Rubio for sure. Yeah, I agree with that, mental medalist wife. I agree with that. I totally do. That's a great way of putting it. I mean, I think, somebody like Matt Gaetz, and my favorite person in government is Josh Hawley. I think Josh Hawley is fantastic, phenomenal, a true American. He fights corruption like I've never seen it. I think he makes anybody who's ever been in that office look bad. I think he is a stalwart of the community, intelligent, articulate, fast on his feet, can think on his toes, creative, but really ultimately he's a true blue American, and he really cares about his country. And I think Gates is a little too controversial. There's still a little bit too much controversy around Gates. And I don't know. Gates has that kind of look like a James Bond villain. I like Hawley a lot. I think Hawley's amazing. And I think Hawley should run for president. I 100%. Hawley has my vote for 2028. I hope he runs. He'll only be almost 50, so he'll be around my age by that point. He's a young guy. You know, he's only 44, 43, I think. He's a young guy. Yeah, Sassafras, I couldn't agree more. I think Hawley is an American patriot for sure. 100%. 100%. Okay, guys, I love you guys more than anything. So just really quickly, don't forget, tomorrow, we are going to be live streaming, but it's not going to be on YouTube. We're going to be live streaming on X, and we're going to be live streaming on Rumble. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you follow me on Rumble and X. I will also send out a community post and an email. So if you're not subscribed to our free email newsletter list, that's in the pinned comment. It would highly behoove you, I implore you, to just literally give us your best email. It's in the pinned comment. Just click on that link. Click on the option for free newsletter. Give us your best email and you're in. You got nothing else to worry about. I don't spam. I don't share your email with anybody. Sign up. It takes a second. And before you leave, please tap that thumbs up. I would highly, highly appreciate if you could just give me a tap on the thumbs up. It takes you a nanosecond because it really, really helps us out to reach more people. Tomorrow is the debates. Don't miss that. Tomorrow is the debates. I love you guys so, so much. As always, don't forget to go back in the pin link. Go in the pin comment. Subscribe. Let's get ready to rumble. I love it, Sassafras. Absolutely. As always, God bless you and God bless America. I'll see you soon.